Hello, welcome to a new video series about one of the most wonderful books that talks about money. In this series, we will learn how to develop yourself and your thinking to become one of the rich and understand the difference between the thinking of the rich and the poor in acquiring money. If you follow the path of the rich, I promise you will become one of them. This book will change your life 180 degrees. Here's a summary of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad by the great author Robert Kiyosaki, which has sold over 40 million copies worldwide. I'm your brother Salah, and the idea of the channel is that I read a book and explain it to you in a fun way. So if you are one of those people who don't like reading books but want to get the benefits of reading without actually reading, then follow us and subscribe to the channel. Let's enjoy the summary together. The book started with a great introduction that deserves to be in a separate and exciting episode for the chapters that will follow. Robert Kiyosaki mentioned that between 1993 and 2010, more than 50% of the increase in the American national income went to the country's rich, who made up more than 1% of the population at that time. And then things progressed further. An economist at the University of California discovered that 95% of the national income revenues in the United States from 2009 to 2012 went to the same percentage of the rich. What this means is that all income increases go to wealthy investors and entrepreneurs, not employees. A very interesting perspective is that if we were to gather all the money held by the rich and distribute it equally among all the people on the planet, over time it would return to its original owners, the investors and entrepreneurs. He told you that wealth is a mindset and poverty is a mindset, and the smart can use his mind correctly and grow his assets column, not his liabilities. Robert Kiyosaki says, "I had two fathers, one rich and the other poor. One of them was highly educated, very smart, and had a PhD. The second father did not complete his middle school education. Both were very successful in their fields and they had high incomes. However, one of them became one of the richest people in Hawaii and left his family tens of millions of dollars, charitable institutions, and places of worship he built. The other father struggled with money and hardships, and he died leaving behind debts. Both fathers emphasized the importance of education, but the poor father stressed the importance of academic education only. The rich dad emphasized the importance of academic education and life education. He told me that then both fathers were in the same financial situation. The rich one hadn't become rich yet, and the poor one hadn't become poor yet. They gave me different advice, and I didn't know who to follow. One would tell me that the love of money is the root of all evil, and that because of it, some people become very rich, making others very poor. And the other one tells me the lack of money is the source of all the evils in the world, and that because of it, people turn into thieves, homeless, and con artists. He says I was confused between them, not knowing who was right and who was wrong. One tells me to study well so I can find a good company to work for, and the other tells me to study well so I can find a good company to buy. The first one tells me to stay in the safety zone and not to risk my money, while the second one tells me to learn how to manage risks. The first one used to say that our home where we live is our most important investment or asset. However, the second one would say that the home you live in is a liability because you pay for bills, repairs, and maintenance. So it's a debt, not an asset. One of them used to tell me that the reason I'm poor and not rich is because I have children and a family to support, so I can't save money or do anything. However, the other one used to tell me that the reason I need to be rich is because I have a family and children whose future I need to secure. The rich dad always encouraged talking about money and business at the dinner table while we ate, whereas the poor dad always forbade talking about money during meals. One of them was teaching me how to write a strong resume that effectively helps to get a high-level job. And the second one definitely taught me how to plan businesses and create jobs and opportunities for others. Robert Kiyosaki told you that as you grow up, you learn that people shape their future through their thoughts. For example, my poor dad always used to say, "I will never be rich in my entire life." And indeed, it came true. My poor dad said, "I'm a poor man," and he died poor. But my rich dad always said, "I am a rich man," and rich people don't do that, even after facing a major financial crisis. He said, "There is a difference between being poor and being broke. Being broke is temporary and can be overcome, but poverty is a mindset that controls you for life." You always see people from the poor and middle class saying that money is just a means to overcome any problem and that's it, that money itself has no importance and is just paper, and that they would never chase after paper. They believe that love, respect, and happiness are more important than money and are priceless. By the way, this was actually a discussion between me and a friend at work. I told him that even the person you consider your biggest enemy can win your favor with a certain gift. I said that you would love and respect him, and he might even become your best friend. As for happiness, money can change what makes you unhappy and buy what makes you happy. In reality, if you look at his life, you'll find that his words don't match his actions at all. He worked abroad to improve his financial situation because his salary was very low. Despite that, he continued and was always complaining about poverty and difficult circumstances. Nevertheless, he was adamant about his opinion and not convinced by what he was saying. So please, if you meet one of these people and they tell you that money is not important, and those who chase after money are often seen as greedy or, as they say, money hungry, but tell them that their view is incorrect, because if money isn't important, why do you work abroad and put in 8 to 10 hours a day just to barely get a paycheck at the end of the month, which might be insufficient? Or when there's something you really want to buy but can't afford because you don't have the money, that's when you need to realize and tell yourself that money is indeed important. This is affirmed by the Almighty when he said that wealth and children are the adornments of the worldly life. Money is important for any person, and in reality, when you look closely, you'll find that the rich never say that money isn't important. None of them say that. Only the poor or the middle class do. Unfortunately, this is the excuse they use to hang their disappointments on, just to ease their minds from thinking and feeling guilty. And with that, we have concluded the exciting introduction to the upcoming chapters, which, by the way, will be much more interesting because we will learn a lot in them. The 6 lessons that Rich Dad taught Robert Kiyosaki, which made Robert Kiyosaki one of the richest people in the world today. If you liked our effort today, please subscribe to our channel to see the rest of the book's chapters and to get the benefits of reading without actually reading. We would be very happy to have you follow us. Don't forget to give us a like if you enjoyed the video. See you in the next chapter, God willing. Peace be upon you.